easiest run of fixtures against big clubs. And they've got a couple of important fixtures sort of in March, April. I had it up earlier. I know I've got it here. Yeah. I mean, they play Chelsea and they play Man City. And other than that, I mean, they've got, so for example, coming up, Palace, Swansea, QPR, tough fixture, West Ham. I mean,
because I mean, Palace are really easy, right?
Well, we yeah, fair point.
We make a point of it to make no match in each.
I hope you're right. I mean,
that's my point.
Yeah. I will say this. I mean, look, they had to field a pretty full squad in their FA Cup fixture earlier in the week, and then 2 of their players got injured. So you're right. That bubble could burst. But I was thinking that they were. Yeah, I was thinking they were going to have a real torrid run of games coming up, and they actually kind of don't. So compared to other clubs. The Woolwich do, however. If you go look at their schedule, they've got a March and April that looks like it could just completely upend their season, which hopefully it will.
I think they're going to win City.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Yeah, they're catching City at the perfect time with Aguero hurt, Boney away,
Torres
away. Yeah.
I burned candles all around my house to prevent that.
Yeah.
Go have some lentils.
One thing overlooked as well is that if Southampton are reaping any benefits, it may well be from Paul Mitchell, who's now joined Spurs as a scout. And the players that Southampton signed when all their players left are Paul Mitchell signings in a way. Yeah. And so maybe, there's that kind of question is half right, but it's not, Southampton reaping the benefits of the Pochettino era. It's Southampton reaping the benefits of the Paul Mitchell era. And now Paul Mitchell is one of ours.
Yeah.
Yep. Amen.
I just hope that we keep the trend of these homegrown players and not selling them. The trend we have is we're putting them on the pitch and they're performing and knocking in goals. It seemed like everybody that scored against Chelsea was a homegrown player or somebody that was at least in the youth development system, yes?
Apart from that.
Yeah. Well, I think the one encouragement... go ahead. Sorry, Daniel.
No, I was laughing, so carry on.
Oh, no, I think there's one big sort of macro issue here with Southampton, and don't get me wrong, I mean, I want top 4, but if we don't get top 4 and say they do, it's very encouraging in this day and age that you don't have to have, £100 million to spend every transfer window to be competitive in this league. I'll just say this about them, and I did watch that long video about that NBC did, which is really worth watching, and it starts with an academy system, and it's encouraging. I've always felt that we don't need to have hundreds of millions of pounds if you have the right structure, if you have the right culture, and frankly, they look like they're maybe proving that to be true.
It's all about chemistry, I think.
Yeah, I think it's culture. I think it starts from the absolute ground up, and look, they were a few moments away from not having that club. Well, the club was in administration. I mean, they came from that, death's door. So I think that is a very, very encouraging sort of phenomena, if you will, in football, and a model to be followed.
Also, don't forget they did call us the North London Yobbos when Holland and Richards came. So no love lost there with Southampton.
Well, no. I think I was just sort of more just I agree. I hear you there.
I know that was Rupert Lowe and all that, but anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, even Graham Roberts and Mickey Hazard and those guys on Twitter will come out and say, it doesn't matter who you've got on your team. It's got to be each player willing to absolutely do whatever it takes for the other 10 guys who are on the pitch with them. They've got to want to fight for each other on the pitch and off to be successful. They played in a little bit of a different era, and it's very hard with all the money that's tossed around and some of the egos that these managers and coaches are having to deal with to maybe try to get that. But I think it's more likely to happen when you have these youth kids coming through the system together, and no matter what they end up making, a la Harry Kane's negotiating a new contract reportedly at this point, and you want those core players that grew up together to stay together. And I just hope that we don't follow, I don't think we will, the Southampton model of developing them, get rid of them, develop them, get rid of them. I think we'll keep them, and who knows, eventually may have 11 players on the pitch that all came from the academy.
I mean, Manchester United showed that, didn't they? In the early 90s, the core of that FA Youth Cup winning side, the Nevilles, Scholes, Butt, it's Beckham, etc. That became a multi-time Premier League winning side, and I mean, even Arsenal as well to a certain extent when they had all their success. Certainly the defence. It was a core back 4 or 5, wasn't it? And consistency is key.
Yeah.
Another question Keith had was, where do you guys think that we're going to end up playing our games while they do the construction on White Hart Lane?
I hope it's not Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Milton Keynes.
I think it's going to be Milton Keynes too.
I've seen the ground, and from my point of view, living in South London, it's actually almost easy to get to White Hart Lane. So if it's Milton Keynes, I shall follow there. I mean, I shall follow Spurs to the end of the earth.
Yeah.
It's Milton Keynes. It's all right.
There's really no other real valid option at this point. Wembley's not an option. I mean, maybe Upton. Oh, we couldn't go to Upton Park
You
just couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. You couldn't
I had heard, and I think it was the guys over on the Fighting Cock. They were saying that. I think it was Windy. He said, Wembley would be a great option, but the FA, I believe it is, or the Premiership, I can't remember which it was, has a rule that you have to play all of your home games at the same stadium. And that the way that the Wembley schedule is set up, that would be virtually impossible. They have too many other events going on, and it would not allow Spurs to play all their home games on the weekends there during the Premier League season. I mean, that seems very tangible to me, yes?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that point is true and valid, yeah. But
there was
I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
There was an interesting soundbite I found earlier from the Times. It wasn't a detailed article, but it said that Spurs had some secret plans to unveil the best club stadium in London.
Oh, was that the Gary Jacob article?
61,000 seats or whatever?
Yeah, having acquired land that was in legal wranglings, we're assuming Archway Steel. So, interesting soundbite. Be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, that was the Gary Jacob piece yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't read that yet. I want to read that. I know that case is coming up, right, in late February.
It's been rescheduled, isn't it? 17th and 18th of February.
Yeah. Wow, it's an unbelievable. It's quite a story. Many years involved with that.
Yep.
Anyway.
Sam, you got any Twitter shout-outs or anything for today?
Just a quick couple. One is the at the Kick Around and at DFW Ticket. That's a radio station here, and they were remarking on the popularity of Tottenham here in the Dallas area. So thank you very, very much for that. And then this guy in Sweden, we got really quite an endorsement. Wow. And he sent out this tweet. He says, 5K running in snow, rain at Hotspur America makes it fun. And he sent a link to us, and his name is Johan Fang.
That's just insane.
At JOHANFANG. So he gets a major shout out. So we use this Ron Burgundy line from Anchorman. I don't mean to brag, but we're kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So Swedish runners in rain and snow clearly like to listen to the at
Hotspur America. Yeah.
So that's awesome. That is all I have, and then obviously shouting out our two wonderful guests.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Daniel, Julie, I've been blowing you guys up with questions. You got anything for us before we get out of here, or?
Not a question. Just to keep going, and I think your enthusiasm and your support is fantastic, and just keep at it. And thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, I echo that. It's so nice to talk to you people. I'm so thrilled that there are actually Spurs supporters across the pond, and it's going to get even bigger and better. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for coming on with us today. I pray your stay was enjoyable, and that we look forward to having you both on again in the future.
Thank you, and keep watching the highlights online. The game tomorrow will be online tomorrow, right? So.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'll definitely we'll promote that out on the Twitter feed as well. Sam, you got anything for me, bud?
Kenny and our guests, get in there, son.
Get in there, in fact. And here's hoping to everybody out there that you have a great week, and remember, be kind to one another. Unless the other guy is wearing red.
Wankers.